Well, hello there. How's it going? It's been a while, eh? But we're back. We're back.
Yeah.
We're back in the same pub in Shepherd's Bush, and we've finally found some time to reconvene in the boozer, Mark. Starting a new season, Wheeler betting time, of course, and we're back Thursday afternoon talking Football League. How was your summer?
Summer was excellent, thanks.
You went abroad, didn't
Went
you?
to Australia, Thailand.
Oh, lovely.
Beautiful time.
Amazing,
Yeah, very good.
stuff. And Football League, pretty dull. Yeah, pretty shit. Football League season so far, 3 weeks in. Who's caught your eye? Who's disappointed you?
Who's caught my eye? Very impressed and happily impressed with Ipswich and Brighton, both with solid starts. Quite keen on those pre-season, so pleased with that. Who's not impressed? Bolton and Blackburn, not too surprised there. Rotherham scrapping around for points. Bradford I had actually to win League One, and they've really struggled. But I think on the whole it's more or less kind of gone to form. I didn't expect Wickham to make such a strong start to
Amazing,
League Two, so.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Fair play to Gareth Ainsworth. Just a quick word, and it was a hot topic of the last few weeks, the Football League show on Channel 5. Are you a fan or no?
Wasn't on week 1, improved week 2. Week 3 was not a huge amount wrong with it. Obviously the breaks make it a little bit difficult, but I just want to see football and want to hear what the managers say. It's quite simple.
Yeah, or George Riley. But anyway, 3 games as ever. This is how we roll. Mark takes us through his 3 Football League picks this weekend. We're starting at Saturday, 3 PM on Saturday. Championship. Bristol City, a promoted side against Burnley, a relegated side. How are you approaching this one, Mark?
Interesting, because I cannot stand 2015 football because it's all about the short term, and Bristol City were being written off after 2 games. You know, they lost in the cup as well to Luton, but you look at the games that they played, they dominated possession against Sheffield Wednesday and lost 2-0. They were leading against Brentford before Luke Freeman was sent off, and then their extra man counted and they lost 4-2. Of course, they were 2-0 down against Leeds as well, fought back to 2-2, and then they of course apparently surprised everyone by winning at Middlesbrough last week at 11-2. But they were full value for that win at Middlesbrough as well, fully deserved it. And they're actually a decent team. They didn't just run away with the League One title for the sake of it. They're a really good team, organised, determined. They've got plenty of forward quality. Freeman's going to be back this weekend. Jonathan Khadija, the guy they signed from France, is getting chances, and I'm pretty sure he'll put 1 or 2 of them away coming up. But they're playing Burnley this weekend, and I like the both teams to score price. It's 1.79 with favourite. Bigger than I expected. I always like Bristol City for both teams to score prices because they leave themselves a little bit open sometimes going forward. Burnley, understandably, are finding life a little bit tougher in the second tier. I think they kept about 9 clean sheets in the Premier League, but they sold Jason Shackle, their captain and sort of defensive linchpin, to Derby over the summer, and they've leaked, I think, in 3 of their 4 games now as well. They've not looked as solid as they have done under Sean Dyche, and I don't expect them to keep a clean sheet for Bristol City, but of course they've signed Andre Gray now, who rejected Bristol City, so should have
space there.
Yeah, should do. I think Bristol City have failed to score only 5 times in the past 12 months, so I like both teams to score there. About 4-5ish.
So it's 1.79 with favourite, is that right?
Correct.
Why are we talking about favourite? Well, favourite sponsoring this video. Favourite, a new bookmaker, Australian bookmaker, I believe. And basically, here's the deal, guys. If you go to the free bets page, is that right? The free bets page in Wheeler Betting, and you open an account via the link in that free bets page, your favourite account, you'll get the £100 deposit bonus, and we'll give you £10 out of the Wheeler Betting funds. You just won't get that anywhere else in any other site. It's something that we do. Basically, it helps pay our bills pretty much. You know, if try to keep the site going, etc. But anyway, I'll stop waffling on. But if you're opening a favourite account, do it with us. If you're opening any sort of account, do it with us, because you will get something extra, whether that's £10 cash, whether that's a betting challenge, whether that's a gift. You will get something extra that you just didn't get anywhere else, Mark.
No.
That's true.
That's our promise.
That is indeed a promise. In League One, and Bury, another promoted side. How have they started?
Difficult because
they're quite high up in the betting, weren't they?
Yeah, they are. They splashed the cash a lot in the summer. Tom Pope of Port Vale, Leon Clark, Strike Force there, so really got a wealthy chairman behind the club. Of course, they're training now in Manchester City's old training ground as well. So the setup's there to go places, and they're sitting in 16th and without a win in the first 4 games. And Oldham are in 12th. If results don't often tell the story, it's definitely here because Bury have drawn 3 of their 4 games, but they've missed a catalogue of chances, and all of them made some defensive howlers in all their games as well. And you look at the shot stats, they're quite significant here. Bury have hit the target, shots on target 29, more than any other side in League One. They've managed to concede 10 goals from the 16 shots on target they've faced. I talked about the summer investment there. Of course, end of last season, kept 12 clean sheets in their final 17 games. Flipcroft's trying to find that kind of magic formula to balance the team out again, because fighting broke out amongst a minority of fans when he kind of went over there after the 3-3 draw at the Crew. Yeah, genuinely, there was people trying to have a fight with him. Quite worrying. Of course, they got 4-1 to Leicester in midweek as well, so people might be put off by that. But from all the reports I've read, Bury deserved much better than that. Their young starter from Leicester hit a hat-trick, and Bury deserved a bit better of a scoreline than 4-1. I really do not rate Oldham though. I think they're in a false position. Last time, well, I checked this morning actually, Oldham, across their 4 games so far, have had 8 shots on target. That's 2 per game. They're conceding 5 per game.
What's the Man United?
It's awful. It's really, really awful. They've kept 2 clean sheets. I don't know how, because they've been sort of under the cosh in all their games against Shrewsbury. Their only goal came from a penalty. Colchester hit the woodwork in the 0-0. Fleetwood was a real ugly game. They kind of scrapped out and scrapped a 1-0 win. And of course, they did actually play pretty well against Walsall on the opening day. Since December, though, they've won 8, drawn 9, lost 14. They've lost 8 away from home in that time as well. Bury won 14 of their games at home last year in League 2. They're 1.87 with favourite to win this game, which might sound a little bit short, but I just think Bury are a much better team than Oldham. I think they should even be shorter. I think they're well capable of winning that game.
Okay. I do miss the managerial interviews in the Football League. They're missing a trick here, definitely.
Yeah.
I like always listening to David Flitcroft, so I missed that.
Unlike the Premier League, where they trot out the same lines every week, you've got characters in the Football League.
I think authentic men with an opinion. As for the next 2 managers in League 2, 2 guys deep rooted in Scottish football, which is obviously up my street. Derek Adams, Ross County's most successful manager, now manager of Plymouth, and Terry Butcher, who did great things at Motherwell and Inverness, Calder and Thistle in Scotland, not so much at Hibs. He's now in charge of Newport, and his career's went a bit shit in the last 2 years, and that thread's continuing.
His career's always pretty much been pretty shit in England rather than Scotland.
Coventry,
Brentford.
Yeah.
And I've got to admit, I hold my hands up. I had Plymouth finishing in mid-table this season because I didn't know too much about Derek Adams, and also from what I read, he's this very offensive, attack-minded, expansive football manager, which is the complete opposite to John Sheridan, who's dour, dull, defence-first footballer. And I thought it might take a bit of time to transition, but bloody hell, what a great start to the season Plymouth have had.
Yeah.
3 wins, 1 defeat. From what I read, Adams took them on a real gruelling pre-season schedule as well, but they're looking fit, they're looking sharp, strong, quick, exciting. The 2 new signings, Graham Carey and Jake Jervis, scored last week in an excellent 2-0 win at Northampton. That's a really impressive victory for me. To me, they've got the top 7 definitely within sight, and they're a little bit too short to back in the match odds price market against Newport this weekend, but we can get 2.45 with favourite in a half-time, full-time market. All 3 wins have seen Plymouth lead at half-time. I think Portsmouth won at Home Park already this season, which you can allow that. It's Portsmouth. They won 13 games last year at home under Sheridan. They led at half-time in those 13 games as well. I expected Newport to struggle. They are struggling. They're pretty crap. Their chairman, the Euro Millions man, left the club in the summer. They've had to completely slash the wage budget over the summer. They've got mounting injuries as well. The confidence is poor. Butcher's blaming defensive naivety on their poor results. They've conceded at least twice in 3 of their 4. Trailed at half-time in 2 of their 4. I think 2.45 is a pretty fair price on half-time, full-time.
Yeah, they're heading back to the Skrillex Premier.
What's it? Vanarama National Premier or
the National League or whatever. Yeah. They're looking doomed. Interesting fact about Derek Adams, I don't know if you know this, Mark. He was sacked by his dad at Ross County. Imagine that.
Why was he sacked? Because what already did wonders.
Ridiculous decision, absolutely ridiculous. Although to be fair, Jim McIntyre's done a good job there. I'm sure you didn't care about Scottish football, so you're probably saying, "Shut up, Talk Me Football League. We're finished now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully do this again. And remember, if you're opening a betting account, because basically here's how it works. The bookmaker gives us like £5 for anybody that signs up. That's how it works. That's why I keep saying that. If you're ever signing up with a bookmaker, do Wheel of Bet, because you will get something extra. It might even be a pint with Mark. How exciting would that be? Anyway, see you next week hopefully.